Alright, what's up everybody? This is JJ Andy and welcome to CJ Market Watch Live. Alright, so today I think we have a huge movement in the market and I'm just gonna be here to dissect what had happened in the market. So just stay tuned for the next 15 to 20 minutes if you want this tip-top information. I've also compiled and summarized what had kind of happened. So it gives you a quick snippet on what exactly took place today. And I'm just gonna digest it for you. I'm just gonna show it to you what exactly had happened in a sense and just walk you through some of the possible scenarios or outcomes or actions that you can take as of now. Okay, so let's begin, right? So what we are seeing here is we are looking at Bitcoin's price. Now, of course, we have seen how Bitcoin's price went up by say $200, $500 all the way up to $1,000 in just a day, right? So yeah, so hey guys, so welcome. I see a lot of people commenting. Good, nice to see all of you. Let me just address some of the stuff first and I'll get to all of you. All right, so what we can see now here is let me just refresh quickly that we can see that Bitcoin's price is now at 6,655. Of course, this is kind of aggregated average. So when we kind of scroll down, you could see the different prices in terms of BTC, right? Of course, we see Bitmex having heavy volume. I sincerely hope that none of you really go on to Bitmex to long or to short, all right? Because it's so volatile, and we are looking at variations of hundreds on BTC. So don't do that, all right? But what we can see here is that there are chances of arbitration, right? You see different exchanges with different pricing. Now, in fact, even on Binance, we did really went to about $7,500, $7,600 in fact, and we see it now hovering at a low of 6,006. So what exactly had happened? And I think that's some of the questions that most of you must be wondering. And some of the exchanges also had issue even logging in, right? I have difficulty logging in some of the exchanges. Okay, so you can see different prices for BTC. I'm not going to touch so much on the BTC price, but you all can see that we are really on different prices, very high chance for arbitration and so on and so forth. But it will take so much time for you to just transfer from one single exchange to another. But this is the interesting part. Okay, let me just share with you quickly. Now, there are three main tokens that kind of enjoy this particular Tether FUD. Okay, they are mainly true US dollars, pesos, okay, pesos standard token, and of course Gemini dollars. So if you just, okay, I have not refreshed this, but let's just take a look at you know, the percentage gain. So you can see that true US dollars went up by 7.4%. If any of you went to true US dollars, could you just give a shout out in the comment box? Let me know, yeah, and we can discuss that as well. We can see how pesos also went up by 7%. Let me just refresh this quickly, and we see a 5% upside. Gemini dollars, on the other hand, went up by 0.55%. So you can kind of see that all of these particularly so-called stable coins are enjoying from the fact that Tether is going through such a FUD. So question is, what exactly are these stable coins doing? Are they enjoying the gains? And if they are so-called hedged against US dollars, then why is it that the prices are increasing substantially? And out of these three, you could also see that true US dollars has it's kind of like an alternative that people always compare true US dollars to Tether, and therefore, of course, it enjoys the most percentage gain. Alright, so that is what is happening. So if for those who don't know what exactly had happened, let me just walk you through slightly via the charts, just to show you the difference, okay, between the charts very quickly. So for those who don't know, CCN actually published an article about a few minutes ago. It actually shows that Bitcoin surges to 7,500 on Bitfinex due to Tether implosion, and the real value or real price is at $6,700. Now, for those who are using Binance, not only just Bitfinex, you could see that the price went up to 7.5, okay, or so. And so you could also see that it also kind of explained to you what had happened. There was a huge sell-off of Tether and so on and so forth. In fact, you also mentioned the three particular tokens here, which is true US dollars, Gemini dollars, and as well as PEX, and how it has actually enjoyed this particular Tether FUD. All right, so what it has stand to benefit from it. So we can also see that overall in 24 hours volume, we went up by 17 billion. So my question is this coming from true like US dollars per se, value US dollars wise, a real fiat currency, or are we looking at Tether coming into the market? So it doesn't really show in this sense. Okay, it's very hard to kind of quantify. But what I particularly did was, if you can see at the top corner here, I prepared a chart in Gemini and I prepped a chart in Binance. Okay, and if you can just see the figure here, I'm not too sure if you can see it. The price difference is almost $450. It's a huge difference. And I basically draw a rectangle here. So this is a Gemini 4 hours, and if you understand Gemini, it means you have to put in US dollars, and that is the only way to kind of fund your account for you to buy BTC, for you to buy something. And you can kind of look at the price wise, right? We did actually went to a high of about 6,767. That's it. Okay. You can also see the RSI didn't exactly even hit the overbought level, right? It still hovers at around 64 level. So we aren't really on Gemini. We didn't see a huge volume coming in, but of course, because of how the APIs and all the average price system, it's kind of averaged out. You tend to see Gemini in terms of BTC price still going up. But the question is, can it be sustained, right? And when you look at how Binance, okay, let's just talk about Binance first. Let's not talk about Bitmex, but you could see that it did went up to a high of $7,675. Now, the main difference here is, of course, the cross pairing, which is what we call the base pair, right? In this sense, in Gemini, we are using a base pair of US dollars, but in terms of Tether, well, which is for Binance, we're using Tether. So what it kind of imply is that you can see on Binance on using Tether, we are kind of on an overbought level, right? And therefore you could see it dipping slightly, slight dip. And what it kind of implies is that people are buying into BTC via Tether. So there was a huge buying volume that came out of nowhere that no one could really predict or see. Now, if you look at OBV, which is on balance volume on Binance, you realize that the volume was really thin, and then suddenly a huge boom, all right? And it came at a very odd hour. Now, right now in Singapore, it's about 4 p.m., all right, Singapore time, in the afternoon. And this particular movement came at about 1 p.m., all right? 1 p.m., it's not an opening of any market, any exchange all around the world, right? Europe is usually 3 p.m. in Singapore time. Britain is usually 4 p.m. in Singapore time. And Australia, New Zealand are earlier. Japan is also earlier. So at 1 p.m., there's possibly no markets opening. But the interesting thing is we see various exchanges and there's a lot of FUD going through all around, rumors saying that Binance is going to delist Tether. We see KuCoin, disabling deposit and withdrawal of Tether and then subsequently enabling it again. And Bitfinex then with the suspected rumored implosion of Tether and suddenly using more Tether to buy tokens. So it was all very, very, very well coordinated. There are so many different exchanges releasing different kind of news, and it was just very well coordinated. And the whole idea here is what was being created. All right, I'm just gonna cover on. I prepared some slides. I'm gonna just show you what were some of the possible scenarios that have led to this particular pump. All right, it's very uncanny. It's not expected. It's something that none of us, when we were at lunch just now, we didn't expect this huge, great movement. All right, so I'm just gonna be here to just share with you my inputs. All right, so what you can see is that particularly on Binance, you see and you realize that hey, the candles actually exceeded this consolidated range. Okay, if you can see, if you're seeing it here on Binance. But when you go to Gemini, you realize that hey, the candle is way below this consolidated channel, and we are looking at the same exact 4 hours chart. We're looking at the same exact consolidation channel, this particular range, and you realize, wow, this is what we're looking at, right? So Tether wise, we did went above this channel. We went above EMA 200. And even on Gemini, we are seeing now that it's below the EMA 200 line. Okay, so for those who can't see, let me just draw it quickly. I'll put it in orange line. So this is what I'm talking about, the main difference between looking at Tether's price and looking at fiat price. All right, so whatever you can say, definitely one thing I can conclude from this is that the main volume, or one of the reasons why BTC pumped heavily, is because Tether came in. Tether pumped the whole market. But in terms of fiat, were there people coming into BTC? Maybe, to enjoy the potential move. But what we could kind of conclude here is that we don't see a huge upside in RSI. We didn't see a lot of movement coming from it. And so the greatest conclusion now is that we can conclude that this is particularly caused, or this pump is particularly caused by Tether coming in. It's a sudden implosion and it's a sudden huge volume coming into BTC or various odds that have Tether pairing as a base pair, and therefore moving the whole entire market. And what can I say? This is largely a very, very highly manipulated market, as all of us know. And this is the risk that we have to stand off, right? This is the risk that we have to take. And this is what is happening. Now, we're going into Britain opening time. We're looking into UK, Europe, people waking up to this particular implosion, this particular explosion of prices. And we are still going to be able to see the movement coming in later when US market wakes up. So that is in about 4 to 5 hours time, and that is what what we will be paying attention to. All right. Now, in terms of Ethereum wise, now we could see the same exact movement. This is on Gemini 4 hours chart. So you could kind of see that, hey, on Tether wise, we are below EMA 50. All right. So this purple line that you can see right here, it's below EMA 50. So what we can understand is on Gemini, US dollars are not coming in as much as compared to Tether. So you could see the huge fundamental difference that when we are charting this particular consolidated range, you don't even see the candles entering, current candles don't even enter the particular range, but you do see that the candles are entering in Tether's ETH range. And you could just see the price difference is 206 versus 222. So if you talk about arbitration, you talk about arbitraging, the differences, right now it's kind of the best moment because a lot of volume are coming in from Tether. But the question is, will your fees be charged extra, or will there be time taken for you to transfer out? I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are transferring some of the different tokens from various exchanges to kind of cash out into cash. But my greatest concern is, can you even send a transaction out? All right. So for those who did, you could just comment below and let me know. I'm going to get to you guys later. All right. Now, on Binance, all right, so let me just take a look quickly on Binance. This is to me a very good indicator of what is happening in the market. So let's just take a look at BTC markets. You could kind of see in terms of percentage, because BTC price went up so much. Most of the odds are most of the odds are in negative, or basically negative percentage. Of course, we do see Paxos, and certain tokens like True US dollars, they are all kind of going up. Of course, Huobi, so on and so forth. But what I want to bring your attention to here is USD Tether. So if you realize, most tokens that are in Tether are in green. In fact, if you want to take a look at Tether's pairings that are going into another stable token, you can see True US dollars going up at 6.57%, and Paxos Standard, which is called PAX, went up by 10.73%. So all in all, I mean, I don't want to compare the rest of the other odds, but what you can see here is, other than Ripple is, I have no idea, Ripple pumps for no freaking reason. But taking a look at Paxos and understanding what's the fundamental is that people kind of believe that we kind of need an alternative to Tether. And because Tether, so many news about it, right? Bank being closed down, things like that. And of course, Tether, of course, have other backings, but it's never transparent about what's the transaction. It's always printing more Tether. What exactly the fuck is happening to Tether? We don't know, right? So this is what's happening to the market. There's so much fear and so much uncertainty that is causing the price to fluctuate so heavily, right? So, Gemini's price 6442. Tether on Binance is 6932. What the hell, man? This is a hell of a day. All right. So let me just summarize quickly some of the scenarios and possible outcomes, and also the actions that you can take quickly with some slides here. So what I prepared is a very simple slide. I did it in like 5 minutes, so bear with me. This is just very simple. So it says Tether scarce continues. All right. So this Tether FUD could be caused by these 3 particular reasons. All right. This is just my own point of view. This is not financial advice, but just some of the information that I could share with you guys. All right. Now, possible reasons. Number 1, investors clearing Tether holdings. Now, I believe that a lot of people could be holding on to their Tether. Now, I'm not talking about retail traders like us. If you're watching this and you're a retail trader like us, you're like me, who doesn't hold a lot of BTC, who is not institutional traders, who will not be affected largely by this, we are not moving the market. So let me just emphasize this: we are not the ones moving the market. The ones that are moving the markets are the big players, and the other one had created that first initial pump. Once that initial pump was created, people on Bitmex started longing. People on Binance started selling, things like that. People started plumping their Tether in. So these are triggered by big players. Retail traders like us are thinking at the sidelines, should we go in now? And when we go in, the market tanks or goes down. So we are retail traders, we kind of suffer in that sense, because the big major players will always play to their advantage. They'll play to the level that they want. And this is happening. So the investors are clearing their Tether holdings by using retail traders like us to offload their BTC, or to offload certain things that they want to. Next, Bitfinex clearing Tether by going into BTC or ETH, right? This could be the potential reasons. Now, Bitfinex could have just printed more. I'm just putting an illustration on assumption here. Bitfinex could have just printed more Tether, clearing whatever Tether that they have in current holdings, going into BTC and ETH, and then after that shut down every fiat deposit so that they can just focus on buying into it. No one could withdraw all of it. And I don't know what Bitmex is trying to do. You know, the last time I used it was 18 months ago. But what I'm trying to say here is that this FUD could be caused by a coordinated kind of pump and dump via various exchanges and different partnerships that they have. And it's very hard to say who is behind this, but what I can possibly conclude is that definitely Tether, Bitfinex, right? Huge link here. Come on, guys. So FUD causes huge buy-in on crypto with Tether pairing. Now, why Tether pairing? Now, if you take a look at what I've just shown you just now on Binance, let me just show you quickly. You could see that anything that's on Tether pairing is pumping hard. All right. So why? Is because people are flocking from Tether into other form of assets. Let's not talk about repo. I'm really not keen on repo as much, but you can see as Paxos, which is PAX, which is kind of like the stable coin, is kind of enjoying from this particular Tether FUD. You could see Bitcoin and Ethereum, of course, the main king and queen, and so enjoying this particular Tether FUD, right? So this is actually what's happening in the market right now, and I'm not very proud to say it, right? That we are seeing a very huge buy-in from Tether side. Okay, and the main thing and the main question that I think most of you are asking is that what exactly should we do now? All right, so I think this is the greatest question here. All right, and so these are some of the possible outcomes. All right, now of course this is just my kind of assumption. It's not there yet, but I'm just assuming, you know, and this could be it, right? So there's a lot of news about Tether being delisted, okay, potentially from different exchanges, right? So this could be one of the reasons, or what could happen coming out of this particular event, which comes on a Monday and a Sunday for US people. It's coming on a Monday for Asia and Europe. It's very, very strange, right? So other stable coins like True US dollars, Paxos, Gemini dollar gains in popularity and value. It's a freaking free marketing for them. Why? Because when Tether FUD comes in, who gets to enjoy the stable tokens, right? True US dollars, Paxos, and Gemini dollars. They are the one that gains the most in Tether FUD. And seeing if, let's say, Tether is being delisted on major exchanges, even if it's just delisted on Binance, I hope Binance will do the right thing and announce it that, hey, we are delisting Tether. And I sincerely hope it doesn't happen, but I'm just saying, most likely they will do a huge announcement saving all of our asses, right? So at least we could get into something before Tether gets delisted, but you never know. So this tree, of course, there are other more stable coins that are coming out, but as of now, in terms of marketing, you know, in terms of how it's being listed on Binance, which is mainly True US dollars and Paxos, these two are being listed already on Binance. And therefore, they kind of enjoy the free marketing and CNN article coming in. There's just so many reasons or so many things that could be linked, right? So, you know, you never know. What if potentially, example, you know, True US dollars or Paxos could be owned by Tether as well, right? So it's like another level of washing. It's like inception, you know, inception of Tether. Well, okay. So what can you do as of now, right? Now, if you have certain leftover Tether or if you have taken profit into Tether per se, you could buy into BTC at a lower price. So for instance, what we have seen so far is that BTC has went down from 7,500 all the way down to about 6,800. And now it's pumping to 6,009 again. So this particular movement is what, you know, within a day is what we could call a day trading, or we could kind of say that it's a good time to kind of scalp a little bit of BTC. Now, you can do it if you're very experienced, and just a little bit disclaimer here, this is not financial advice, but it's just what I could share with you that you could potentially do. Or you could just understand that this is just another day in the crypto universe. You face this kind of almost every week, there'll be once or twice, and we have kind of never experienced this kind of pump in this year at least. 2017 was so exciting, and then 2018 is like a bummer. But I guess this particular pump kind of inculcated in us that, you know, crypto, anything can happen in crypto universe, and this particular pump was kind of unpredicted and unprecedented, definitely. And you know, I've never seen such a huge discrepancy between a normal fiat exchange and a Tether exchange. This is just amazing, and wow, you're just learning new things every single day, right? So let me just see if there's any questions. Yeah, I'm not too sure if Ryan is coming in later, but he might be. Okay, anyway, so there's nothing much, nothing much that we can see from the comment section. If there's anything, just leave any comments on this, and we'll get back to you guys. All right. So for those who are from our CG Legacy and Elite members, you will be getting more. Ryan will be in later, definitely for the webinar. We will cover more details into what exactly we can do. So further discussion will be conducted tonight with our Legacy and Elite members, right? In about 3.5 hours time, and so I'll see you guys. All right. So. Thank you guys for tuning in for this particular episode. Tether scares continue, and I'll see you in the next CG Market Watch Live. So for now, safe investing and stay tuned.